travel as long as it lasted, the journey of my life. Save the pain I leave behind. At every turning of my life, I came across good friends. Friends who stood by me, even when time raced me by. Farewell, farewell, my friends. I smile and bid you goodbye. Shed no tears, for I need them not. All I need is your smile. If you feel sad, think of me, for that is what I like. When you live in the hearts of those you love, then you never die. Good afternoon, everyone. We're gathered here in strange times, and sadly we're unable to give Tommy the send-off we would have liked to. But nonetheless, we gather here to pay respects and say our own personal goodbyes to Tommy, a man who meant so much to you all. I was fortunate enough to have known Tommy, and so it's an honour for me to stand here and pay tribute to a great man. The reason I started with this short poem today is I truly believe that this is what Tommy would be saying to us if he could be with us just now. He would not want us to be talking about him with heavy hearts. He would want us to rejoice what we had with him. Today we're going to share just some of the wonderful memories the family hold of Tommy. We'll speak about some of the significant events that took place throughout his life, and we'll speak about what mattered most to him, his family. Author George Sand once said, "There is only one true happiness in this life, and that is to love and to be loved." Tommy certainly achieved that in his life, with the love of his family and his friends. Even though life has to end, love doesn't. On the 21st of June 1947, James and Margaret Riley introduced to the world their firstborn, a son named Thomas, who would soon go on to become a big brother when the family became four upon the arrival of Jean some years later. In his early years, Tommy attended St David's School in Plains, where he completed both his primary and his secondary education. Tommy was a clever kid and done well at school. He was very kind as a boy to everybody growing up. Well, everyone apart from Jean. He was a bugger to her. Always at the wind-up. When Jean got any attention from their parents, Tommy's nose was out of joint. And his response was to tell Jean that she wasn't part of the family, that she was adopted. In fact, he said that often to Jean that she began to believe it, to a point where she had to ask her mum for clarification on this later in life. But despite all of this, Jean loved her big brother. She says he was the best brother in the world, and she will miss him dearly. Upon leaving school, Tommy's dad encouraged him to go and look for a job. Much to his parents' surprise, a sergeant from the army turned up at the door one day looking for Tommy. And as he put his name down for the forces one day at Airdrie Job Centre. And that was it. He was signed up and he was moving away from Plains. Tommy loved army life, but when he returned home to Plains on leave, he didn't want to go back. In fact, I believe the army were often wandering the streets of Plains trying to track Tommy down because he hadn't returned. Jean recalls Tommy handing her a poker one day in the family home and asking her to break his legs so he didn't have to return. What a man. But broken legs wouldn't have allowed Tommy to play football. That was his true passion. And army life saw Tommy travel all over to represent the forces on the football field. A fine footballer at that, I'm led to believe. It was during his army life that Tommy would find love. In the summer of '69, I think there's a wee song about that. In the city of Krefeld in Germany, Tommy's eye was caught by a young lady by the name of Patricia Lloyd. Tommy was desperate to ask Tricia out on a date, but he was skint. But with the help of his pal telling Tricia he liked her, Tricia lended Tommy the money, and on a date they went. The rest was history, as they say. 6 months later, they became the new Mr. and Mrs. Riley. Family life soon started after this, as Tommy and Tricia became parents, welcoming their firstborn son Michael to the world on the 7th of September 1971. just over a year later, twins Ian and Stuart were born on the 13th of October 1973. Tommy was trying for a football team of his own, as less than a year later, Graham was born on the 9th of September 1973. I think it's safe to say that telly wasn't on much in that house. In fact, it was noted that every time Tommy was on leave from the army, Tricia fell pregnant. Tommy, Tricia and the gang left Germany in '73 and headed back to the UK and set up base in Catterick for a few years. Most of this time, Tommy playing football for the army. Army life came to an end in 1978 and the family then set up base in Beverley in Yorkshire. On the 4th of December 1979, the family was extended with the arrival of Alan. Tommy now had his own five-a-side team. On the 6th of April 1981, Tommy got his girl when Emma was born. The family was complete. Tommy was a plainsman at heart, and he managed to convince Tricia to move north, and they set up home in the village in 1981. Tommy was a big character in the community. He continued to play football for Plains Amateurs and offered a helping hand in coaching the local school teams. He was an enthusiastic committee member in the clubs and Plains over the years, and he could often be seen up belting out a few tunes on the stage, namely Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty or Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton, depending if he was in a romantic mood or not, what one he sang. The family hold wonderful memories of Tommy. A lot of them more recent, however. Saturday afternoons at Tommy's were great fun. The family would all meet along with his sidekick, John McElduff, and they would make their weekly donations to the bookies, because nobody ever seemed to win. The patter would flow, and so would the drink. And once Jeff Stirling and his team confirmed the curtains were burst, the music would go on, reminiscent with the golden oldies being played on YouTube. Tommy was great company, never took life too seriously, and he was always the joker, looking to make fun out of every situation. John says that he'll miss their Jack and Victor conversations. One thing I'd like to know, John, who was Jack and who was Victor?
Take your pick.
One of these Saturday afternoons, Tommy took it upon himself to make a short video presentation to send to Alan in Mexico on his wedding day, as Tommy couldn't be present. Oh my God. 17 takes later and God knows how many whiskies later, Tommy's masterpiece was complete. If any of the New Mexican family find it hard enough to understand the Scottish language, well, they were gubbed trying to interpret this. I can bear witness as I see this and I can't even understand it.